Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your Game Zone hosts, Matt Littler and Darren Jeffries.
Hello, Gadget Show Live. How are we? You know the drill by now. Up you get. Come on.
You thought you were having a rest. Sorry.
We don't sit down in the game zone. That does not happen unless you're playing a video game.
Although you are in the best part of Gadget Show Live by a country mile. You're right at the edge of the game zone where it's all sort of happening. We've got Eclipse and we've got Choke Gaming over here talking about esports. We've got the Plantronics guys over there. They're selling some of their products so cheap this weekend. If you're looking for anything like headsets, definitely head over there. Our show sponsors Emerge are over there to the left. Next to our other show sponsors, Game. They've got some amazing deals. They've got an Xbox One for, I can't remember the exact price, but you get 7 games with it as well. That's well worth looking at over there.
Only at Gadget Show Live.
Only.
So, also, another thing that Matt didn't mention is the fact that we've got the indie game area, which is straight down there. It's got a nice dash of yellow on it. You can just spot it there. They're showcasing 9 or 10, I think, indie games at Gadget Show Live. Obviously, compared to the AAA blockbusters, indie games are a different breed. They're maybe slightly smaller in scale, but at the same time, much more imaginative, novel. You'll find games over there that you won't find anywhere else. They're a lot of fun.
You can feel the love in the indie games. You can feel it in the mechanics and the design and the lore of each world they've created.
Yeah, because a lot of these games are made by really small teams, who haven't got the manpower or the money that the bigger games developers have got, which naturally forces them to be a little bit more creative. So it's a good thing. They're always really novel, interesting games. And as I said, we've been showcasing quite a lot of them on this stage as well.
One such team are the guys at Payload Studios who've made a lovely game called Terratech. And Russ from Payload is here now to talk to us about it.
Please
Give a round
welcome
of
Russ
applause,
to the
guys.
stage.
I'll get sat down so we can see what you're talking about.
Russ, have a seat, my friend. Let's talk games.
My favourite subject.
And mine too. So, you're also based over at the indie area, which is just at the back there. How's it been going for you guys so far?
It's brilliant. This is our second Gadget Show, and it's one of our favourite shows on the circuit. We love the crowd here, we love the atmosphere, and we love being in the indie game section. There's some great stuff over there.
So, if you were going to sum up your title in a couple of sound bites, for those who haven't had a chance to play it yet, what's it all about?
In 3 words, Lego with guns. In slightly more words than that, it's a physics-based sandbox exploration game. The idea is, as you see happening here, you build a vehicle out of blocks. You can just snap it together a little bit like you were building a Lego car. And then you can drive it around this endless landscape, having encounters with other vehicles, mining resources, converting them into money, and doing anything else that you can get away with. And I guess the core hook of the game is that when you encounter others and you fight against them, any parts that you shoot off in combat, you can immediately steal and stick onto your own vehicle, so you can kind of scavenge your way to victory.
So it's sort of got a real-time strategy kind of vibe to it, in the sense that it's all about units and resources and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's got a really sort of fun, arcadey kind of spin as well, from what I can tell.
Yeah, that's right. We're trying not to be pigeonholed too tightly into any one genre. It's got a lot of sandbox survival in it, definitely RTS. You can actually control multiple vehicles. You can build a whole fleet of them, switch between them, and use AI to control the others. So there's really something for everyone in there.
And the battle aspect then, you've already mentioned that you get to build your own vehicle, which is a great part of the game, and it's a lot of fun. Any fans of Lego or Transformers will be right at home here anyway. But you've also got different factions within the game, haven't you, that are all at war against each other?
Yeah, they're called corporations, and I guess the unusual thing about this game is that, unlike in a class-based game where you pick one and play as them, in Terratech you can mix and match everything. So the fiction of the game is you're a space miner sent to alien worlds to harvest natural resources and send them back to Earth. And you're a private contractor for the Galactic Survey Organization. And they provide you with a starting set of technology that you can license that allows you to manufacture all these different blocks. There are about 30, 40 blocks in the GSO set. But there are all these other private corporations which specialize in different areas. They have their own technologies and sets of blocks that you can license and start to add in to increase your capabilities.
Right, so there's a lot to it then. It's not just about running around and just shooting each other. It's very in-depth actually. There's a lot of fun to be had. Can you explain what Matt's doing now, if that is at all possible? He seems to be just ramming into a rock.
It looks like he's had a few drinks and can't find a way
Yeah.
home. So what he's doing, he's got into a bit of combat there. This is one of the early enemies that you find. Immediately he's destroyed it, it's dropped a bunch of parts. So apart from the cab, which is about to explode, he can take those and stick those on if he's got any space and make it a bit better. As you get bigger, you can explore further and you'll encounter bigger and more dangerous enemies, which will mean that you need to upgrade still further to win.
So I guess there's the rub, isn't it? If you want the high tech and the powerful weapons, you've got to go after the more powerful enemies.
That's right, it's a risk-reward thing. If you want to play it safe, you can stay in a starting area, which is relatively calm and safe, and just, mess around and build and so on. But if you feel more adventurous, you can go out into the desert or up into the mountains, where there's a lot more valuable stuff and more varied enemies to be found, but it's a much more dangerous environment.
And you can keep adding to your vehicle and building. How big can you get?
So currently, there's an arbitrary limit of 64 cubes in each dimension, so you can make something that would pretty much fill that screen, which will take quite a long time, so good luck getting anything that size.
Well, yeah, it's a really, really nice idea, and as you can see already on the screen, it's a lot of fun to play. Where did the motivation come from for this type of game? What was the idea behind it?
I guess in the team, we're all big fans of Lego. This is probably the game that I would have wanted to play, when I was a teenager. I really like experimental games that don't necessarily have a single narrative or a defined endpoint, just like a set of toys to play with that you can do anything that you can imagine. We came up quite early on with the concept of the kind of three-dimensional sticking together of blocks, and then thought, well, we can do wheels and we can do guns, and that'll be fun, and then how about some rocket boosters? And we just kind of evolved it through experimentation. For example, there's a whole flying aspect to the game that we didn't originally think of when we first started playing around with it. And it was only going to a show like this and discovering that immediately, as soon as we gave people rocket boosters, the first thing they thought of to do was to point them downwards and actually fly into the air. We thought, oh, wait a minute, that's going to be loads of fun. So we put in wings, we put in propellers, and now you can build flying vehicles as well.
So I guess that's a really good example of how shows like Gadget Show Live are really important to games developers. That feedback is instant, isn't it?
It's huge, yeah. I mean, it's something we've really tried to do with how we made TerraTech, is actually build that into a whole way of developing the game, like constantly getting feedback from people. But it's also, for any game, it's an amazing thing to do. It's a great way to see, where the strengths and weaknesses are in your game as it evolves. It's a great way to get feedback. And also, especially for a small team, there's a lot of risk in doing, what teams like us do. And so you need to have a lot of passion. And there's nothing like actually, seeing the excitement in the faces of the people playing this thing you've made for really stoking that fire.
And you're also reaching out into the community, aren't you? Outside of these kind of events, you're generating feedback yourselves from various means. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. We encourage. We started the project with a Kickstarter campaign, so we did a lot of community building that way. We have a forum that we encourage players to come and tell us what they think about the new stuff we're doing. There's the Steam forum as well. We even have like an add-on available within the game called the R&D pack. And if you get that, we give you access to all the unfinished pieces that we haven't put in the main game proper while we're still balancing them. So they might be a bit broken, they might do some sort of wacky things, but a lot of people really get into kind of helping us test and develop the way those bits are going.
And I bet you get some great feedback from that too. Matt, what were you going to say?
I've built the best thing I've built all week.
Well, talk us through, Matt. How are you finding the game?
I've just died. Can you
Shouldn't have said that.
not come to me now?
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing.
Worst timing ever.
Yeah.
Has anybody in our audience had a chance to play the game since they've been at Gadget Show Live? You need to get over to the indie zone then. Is anybody in our audience like to play now? Now that Matt's actually ended his own game. Anybody fancy a go? Put your hands in the air. This young man here, up you come.
Come and join me on the couch. You can have a go, because I suck at it. I built the best car I've ever built then, and then
It was nice.
someone got me.
I like the vertically mounted
takes it
drill.
here.
That looked really exciting.
The vertical drill, just in case
Yeah.
anything came from above. You never know. You never
don't know.
So, Russ, do you want to what's our audience member's name, Matt?
Kyle.
Kyle. So, Russ, feel free to explain to Kyle what he needs to do. I'm sure that'll be a big help.
Okay, well, yeah, just you'll need the mouse there. Once you've got that sorted out, just click Start New Game. And you can click No on the screen that comes up after that because you don't need Twitter for this.
So, Kyle's just going to get into it. So it starts you off, as we said earlier, with really simple set of blocks. And then you quite quickly grow any enemy you take down, cherry pick the best bits, add it to your car, and the bigger and better you can get, the better. You can fly. There are some cars that can hover. There are wings you can get. I remember seeing, I think we'll let Kyle have a go, and then it'd be quite cool if you showed us some of the other modes that come with the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you've gone through the tutorial and you've got a feel for it, we can put you in one of the challenge modes. We could do a time trial lap, or we could do like a rocket distance challenge, whatever you feel like.
So he's putting his wheels on. And did you put a wheel on the roof then? You're definitely going to need a light machine gun. And then stick that plough on the front, hit B for beam, and then you're off. Try on the other end. There you go.
So don't be shy, Kyle. Get amongst it. Matt was a little bit wimpy, I think. He kind of held back slightly.
Story of my life.
There's loads of areas to explore. And yeah, Russ is going to talk you through it. So
Okay, so.
Matt, Russ is going to Russ will talk you through it.
Right, sorry. Carry on, Russ.
Yeah, so the icon on the left is telling you you've been attacked. You've got an invader there. His name is Tony. He is the first invader in the game, and he has been killed approximately 3 million times since we first started developing. Don't worry, just go in and tangle with him. What you need to do is shoot a few lumps off him, and